Thus he said to me, you have seen a ladder with 12 steps, each step having 2 human faces which kept changing their appearance. The latter is this age. Okay, now we can look at the time of the Gentiles, and we can calculate that time period, and we'll see that where we are right there at the close of that age. Okay, we're right there. We may be in a grace period beyond it, but I'm not sure. That's a whole other lesson. We'll deal with that. And I have some brothers that teach this thing, and they can break down the age to you, and they can probably show you more detail where we are than I can. The latter is this age, and the 12 steps are the periods of this age, which would be equivalent to, say, maybe 179 years, which is a period, each period. So, like, it's kind of close to a bicentennial, 200 years, but about 179 years doing the math divide. If we divide the 12 to 2150 into the number of days in the lunar year, it comes out to roughly about 179 years, which is just short of the bicentennial, which is 200. Okay? Now, but the 24 faces are the kings of the un-Elohim nations of this age. So that's 24 he saw on the ladder, 24. And are the kings of the un-Elohim nations of this age. Under these kings, the children of your children and the generations of your sons will be interrogated. Okay? That's what has happened. So the persecution started before, I think during the time of Antiochus Epiphanes, if you want to be technical, right around that time, okay? All right, and through. So since that time, there's been a constant interrogation of people. Antiochus Epiphanes created a law where he would not allow the children of Israel to circumcise their seed or to keep the Shabbat. Under these kings, the children of your children or the generations of your sons will be interrogated. These will rise up against the iniquity of their grandson, and this place will be made desolate for the 4 ascents or the 4 beasts found in Revelation, found in Daniel chapter 7. Through the sins of your grandsons and around the property of your forefathers, a place will be built, a temple in the name of your Elohim and of the Elohim of your fathers. And in the provocations of your children, it will become deserted by the 4 ascents of this age, or the 4 beasts, or the four angels that the Father is using to bring us back to the covenant. And the Most High will raise up kings from the grandsons of your brother Esau. So he raised up kings from your brother Esau, from Babylon to present-day America. That's where his sons were kings, from Babylon to present-day America. All right? Now, and they will receive all the kings and the tribes of the earth who will have maltreated your seed. That's a new world order. And they will be delivered into his hand, and he will be vexed by them. Right? So, he did what? We was delivered into the hands of Esau. And once again, like we said, Aaron Lopez, and there's a video circulating around called "The Jewish Involvement in the Slave Trade." And so you can Google that, or you go to YouTube and search for "The Jews Involvement in the Slave Trade." And they will be delivered into his hands, and he will be vexed by them, and they will hold them by force and rule over them, and they will not be able to oppose him. See that? So, kind of like what he says in Deuteronomy 28, he says, you will have no power in your own hands. So he said this was going to happen. They're going to be interrogated by his seed, maltreated by all the nations of the earth, all the other nations, all of the Gentiles, all of the white people, as people call them, were not Esau. Esau is the son of Yitzhak or Isaac, and he did mix, but he's still mixed. He's got Edomites who look European, and he got all the Edomites who look of color. Okay, some of them are still in the land. You go to Canaan, you'll see some Edomites still there, because he mixed with the Canaanites, and so did Shlomo. In the 11th chapter, 1 Kings, he talks about all his wives, daughters of Esau, he had children by then. Okay, now. And he says that he will hold them by force and rule over them, and they will not be able to oppose him until the day when his thought will go out against to serve idols and to offer sacrifices for the dead. So that's talking about what? Bohemian Grove. That's talking about what? Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism, all the stuff that they're doing. And our people now feel like that, oh, I want to go home, so I'm going to convert to Judaism. You embracing Jewish mysticism, you about to bring judgment on you. That's why I ain't going to, using my best English, convert to Judaism. Never. And if I want to go to Israel, I'll live in Israel. But I ain't converting to Judaism. I'm going to prophesy in, as I already have already, and I'll prophesy again in Israel. Now, let me get back. So he says, until it comes that he will serve idols to offer sacrifices for the dead. Bohemian Grove. He will do violence to all those of his tribe. And now he has his word. Kafalkan Argar Gel Yuya. It's a word. What is it saying? Falcon. Who is a falcon? Falcon is the eagle. Right? The symbol of the people that oppress the children of Israel. Right? So Falcon Nagar. What is Nagar? Okay, Nagar is Syria. Nagar is modern Tel Brak, Syria. It's an ancient late Neolithic Sumerian Akkadian city on the Kabar River at 40 miles in height on the tallest archaeological mounds of Middle East, and kilometer long it forms remains of one of the largest urban sites in northern Mesopotamia. So why are they in Iraq? Not because of oil, because prophecy they will be there. What are they looking for? They're looking for the ring and the cape and the crown. Those three items is what the anti-Messiah needs. So to find it, because why? Nimrod had it, Nebuchadnezzar had it. It's believed that Alexander had it because he died right in Babylon, right? So they went to this place, which is called Falcon Nagar, the place of the eagle. That was a symbol of King Nebuchadnezzar, the eagle, Babylon, right? Now, eagle is now the symbol of America, and the United Nations is embracing the eagle. Fulfilled prophecy, right? Now, he says, and then we got Geluya. All right. Now, Geluya is a mockery because they kind of playing with the Father's name. Okay, it's kind of like the mixed worship syndrome. All right, embracing Luciferic worship and calling him, a name that has a Father's name. And I'm not even going to utter the name out my lip, but you can Google it. The name that the so-called Illuminati's call on when they get to the highest degree. They worshiping Baal and Osiris. All right? Now, so he says, know, Yaakov, that your descendants shall be exiles in a strange land. And they will afflict them with slavery and afflict wounds on them every day. See that? But Yahweh will judge the people for whom they slay. So we read in Joel chapter 3, Mosiah said, I'm going to bring all nations down to the valley of Jehoshaphat. And I'm going to judge them for my people. Right? Whom they have scattered and on the above. Now, chapter 6. And when the king arises, judgment too will come upon that place. So this king was designed. We're going to get here I got several books to read, and hopefully I can get it out. When the king arises, judgment too will come upon that place. Then your seed Israel will go out of slavery to the nations who hold them by force, and they will be set free from the rebuke of your enemies. See that? So when this king arises, judgments too will come upon that place. Why? Because this king is the one that's bringing it all together. It's called the coexist. It's called, he will forget the Elohim of his fathers, and he will serve other mighty ones who his fathers have not known. You see that? You gotta know it. Now, when the king arises, judgment too will come on that place. Then your seed Israel will go out of slavery from the nations who hold them by force, and they will be free from any rebuke of their enemies. For the king is the head of all revenge and retaliation against those who have done evil to you. Israel and the end of the age. For bitter ones will rise, they will cry out. That's why you see all the radical Hebrews on YouTube hollering the streets. Bitter ones is crying out. The bitter ones will cry out, he says. Yahweh will hear them and accept their plea. We're praying, and we're asking the Most High forgive us for worshiping Hasatan under his many names. He has many, brothers and sisters, I'm telling you. We just named a few earlier, but he has many names. And the mighty one, he says, the mighty one will repent because of their sufferings. For the Malachim, the archangels will hurl their bolts of lightning before them for the sake of the salvation of your tribe, and you will gain the mercy of the Most High. So he said, he's going to do what? He's going to hurl bolts of lightning. So the nature, the elements. I wonder if he's going to blow these satellites out of the sky. That's a good thought right there. It just came to my mind. He's going to hurl bolts of lightning before them for the sake of the salvation of your tribe, and you will gain the mercy of the Most High. Then their wives will bear many children, and afterwards Yahweh will fight for your tribe through great and terrible signs amongst them who made them slaves. This is in the book that they took out or they hid from you, but we found it and we read it to you today. He said, Yahweh will fight for your tribe through great and terrible signs against those who made them slaves. He filled their storehouses, and they will be found empty. See that? Their land swarmed with reptiles. You can go to the book of Ezekiel and Ezekiel and see that. And all sorts of deadly things. There will be earthquakes and much destruction. And Yahweh will pour out his wrath against Leviathan. Leviathan? Right. The sea dragon. So, these people worshiping what? Lady Liberty, look her up. You got Lady Liberty, you got Diana, you got Columbia, Cirrus, all of the names that this Hasatan is worshiped under. He don't care, he's male and female. He's I can't even say the word, hermaphrodite. You know, he has both organs. He's male and female, brothers and sisters. He don't care. He's kind of a boy George, or should I say girl George. Leviathan, the sea dragon, he will kill the lawless falcon with the sword. There goes that falcon, right? That's the symbol of Egypt and Babylon and the nations, right? Because he will raise the wrath of Elohim by his pride. Then your justice will be revealed, Yaakov, and that of your children who are to be after you, and who will walk in your justice. And then your seed will sound the horn, and all the kingdom of Edom will perish together with the peoples of Moab. So, if you're saying that the kingdom of Edom is going to perish with Moab, then that means there's got to be Edom, because we agree that it's Moab. But who is Moab? Huh? We can't throw out those nations because the prophecy said that they got to be still around. So who's Esau? We know who Moab is. Who is Esau? How come you don't hear about it in your Sunday school class about Esau still being alive today? Where's his children at? Huh? How come you don't hear about that in the prophecy conference about Esau? Where's Esau at? Did he just disappear? Or did he take on another identity and become known as the chosen people? And the chosen people lost their identity and became known as something that people created in the beginning. Think about it. Now, so he said that Esau was going to be around till the end of days. Now, chapter 7. All right. As for the angels you saw descending the ladder in the last years, there will be a man from the Most High, and he will desire to join the upper things with the lower things. And before his coming, your sons and daughters will tell about him, and your young men will have visions about his. Such will be the signs at the time of his coming. A tree cut with an axe will bleed 3 mouth. Old babes will speak understanding. A baby in the womb of his mother will speak of his way. A youth will like an old man, and then the expected one will come whose past will not be noticed by anyone. I better read that again, huh? You said, what'd you just say, brother? As for the angels you saw descending and ascending the ladder in the last years, there will be a man from the Most High, a man who is raised up for his reason, right? He will desire to join the upper things with the lower things. Let's bring it all. Let's just all coexist together. Let's just make it one. One, universal. We all serve the one God, And we, as a people, can come together and see change. So he says what? And he will desire to join the upper things with the lower things. And before his coming, your sons and daughters will tell about him, and young men will have visions about him. I have a dream that one day all black men and white women, white men, black, whatever, shall come together and join hands and sing the spiritual Negro, spiritual whatever. Free us! Right? And visions, right? This book is detailed, brothers and sisters. Look. It's right there. The 7th chapter of the ladder of Jacob, Yaakov. Young men will have visions about this. Such will be the signs at the time of his coming. A tree cut with an axe will bleed. 3-month-old babies will speak understanding. A baby in the womb of his mother will speak of his way. A youth will be like an old man. Look at you. See old looking people, right? Old young people look like an old man. And then the expected one will come whose path will not be noticed by anybody. Just showed up. Ooh, candidate for the president of the United States now. Where'd he come from? What does the name mean? Lightning. Come quickly. In a hurry. Fast. Why? Because there's not much time. So he has to come in a hurry. Bring it together. We're at the end. We're at the close of it. Then the earth will be glorified, receiving heavenly glory. What was above will be below also. And from your seed will bloom a root of kings. It will emerge and overthrow the power of evil. And he himself will be the Savior for every land, and rest for those who toil, and clouds shading the whole world from burning and heat. For otherwise, The uncontrolled will not be controlled. If he does not come, the lower things cannot be joined with the upper. At his coming, the idols of brass, stone, and any sort of carving will give voice for 3 days. They will give wise men news of him and let him know what will be on the earth by a star. Those who wish to see on earth him whom the angels do not see above will find the way to him. Then the Almighty will be on earth in body. And embraced by corporal arms, he will restore human matter. And he will revive Kawab, who died by the fruit of the tree. Then the deceit of the impious will be exposed, and all the idols will fall down, face down, for they will be put to shame by the dignitary. For because they were lying by means of hallucinations, henceforth they will not be able to rule or prophesy. Honor will be taken from them, and they will remain without glory. Look at that. For he who comes will take power and might and will give Abraham the truth which the previously told him. Everything sharp he will make dull, and the rough will be made smooth. He will cast all the iniquitous into the depth of the sea. And he will work wonders in heaven and earth, and he will be wounded in the midst of his beloved house. And when he is wounded, then salvation will be ready, and the end of all perdition. For those who have wounded him will themselves receive a wound which will not be cured in them forever. And all the creation will bow to him who was wounded, and many will trust in him, and he will become known everywhere in all lands. And those who acknowledge his name will not be ashamed. His own dominion and years will be unending forever.